To Newport News now, where more than a year after a first grade student, shot his teacher at Rich Neck Elementary School, the case returns to a courtroom.
Now, the criminal part has been over for some time, but there is still a lawsuit looming. The teacher who was shot, Abby Zwerner, sued the school system and administrators for $40 million, alleging they failed to protect her. 10 Your Side's Chris Horn was there for today's hearing and continues our coverage tonight. Chris?
Yeah, Tom, from the very beginning, Newport News Schools wanted this whole case converted into a workers' compensation claim. So much so that they filed the claim with workers' compensation regardless of Abby Zwerner's wishes. Abby Zwerner was shot by a first grade student in early January of last year. The 6-year-old boy got the gun from his mother's purse. The mother is serving time for gun and child neglect charges. Attorneys for the school system say because the boy was special education, Zwerner was at elevated risk in her classroom. Zwerner's attorneys disagree. But for that reason, Newport News Schools wants the case to be converted to a workers' compensation claim.
If the Workers' Compensation Commission finds that Ms. Zwerner's injury is compensable, and that at any point is upheld by the Supreme Court of Virginia, it nullifies this entire proceeding no matter what.
In fact, about 4 weeks ago, the school system already filed the claim on behalf of Zwerner, who didn't want it in the first place.
We haven't seen something like this happen where you have your civil case going forward in the circuit court and then the employer turns around and files for workers' compensation.
Zwerner is suing Newport News Schools for $40 million. The case was set for trial in January of next year, but this latest development could push that back.
We would like to be able to do our discovery, and we'd like to hold our trial date because Abby will have waited 2 years by January for anything to happen. And so we think the judge will understand that.
And Attorney Bright says if this becomes a workers' compensation claim, then that means in the job description of a teacher in Newport News is the possibility that you could get shot in your classroom. No matter what happens in this case in the next several months, it looks like it's going to be headed to the state Supreme Court eventually. We're live in Newport News. Chris Horn, 10 on your side.